No second chances, no support, and nowhere to go but the finish line. Day and night, non-stop, racing the clock as much as they race themselves. Across 4 continents and countless challenges. The ultimate prize is simply surviving. The journey, the tears, and the triumphs. Welcome to Wild Races. South Africa's wilderness is as harsh as it is diverse. Our racers now venture further and further into the unknown. Technical challenges, abundant wildlife, and a massive open terrain bring this race to a new level. With all our teams so closely grouped, they all go beyond their limits to make up valuable positions. In essence, the hunter becomes the hunted, in a land no stranger to tracking down the competition. Merrill now maintain a slim lead over the chasing teams. In such an environment, what seems like a sizable gap can be shut down in the blink of an eye. In adventure racing, nothing is taken for granted. Teams now take on a 23-kilometre kayak that will be a true test of sleep deprivation and mental stamina. As sure as dusk will meet the dawn, Team Merrill now extend their lead and head out onto the next mountain bike leg ahead of their chasers that are in the midst of a testing kayak. Despite being a leg behind, our chasing teams refuse to give up and push well into the unknown in order to bridge the gap.
So good morning, it's day 2. We've been paddling since about 3 o'clock this morning. And it's been misty and cold and really fighting some sleep monsters. We're on our 3rd paddle and we have literally been fighting the tide in these tidal rivers the whole time.
So we had a good night. It was rough and quite hard, but back on track. Team morale's good, just got to keep going.
We got caught with the tides, with no water in the one little tributary, and then we got caught with an incoming tide that pushed us backwards, no matter how hard we paddled.
Now nearing the end of a very long and arduous kayak, teams are starting to face the toughest challenge of them all, mental fatigue.
We're all a bit sore. The cracks are showing. Now we're feeling it, absolutely.
Made one mistake with the navigation on that side, but it would cost us about 10 minutes. And then, just the tide.
That was a tough paddle. At night, cold, but we did it. We're here.
With Team Merrill well into the next 60-kilometre mountain bike leg, our teams now face the daunting task of moving even faster with still no sleep.
The bike, we're going to start off a bit slow and then I think we're going to build up momentum and hopefully catch the team that just left ahead of us. They are big rivals. We had an interesting paddle, started at about 3 in the morning and it was just very misty and groggy and the sleep monsters were attacking. But good to get off the boat and just really excited to get onto the bike. I would say biking's our strong point and we've had to wait until halfway through day 2 to touch a bike, so we're excited. Hopefully we can make the right decisions. I'm just looking forward to getting out there and seeing some scenery, maybe some animals, who knows. We managed to see some giraffe and wildebeest on the paddle already. This is an expedition race in Africa and it's got a real African flavour.
Judging from our previous experiences, we always knew we were a bit strong on the bike, and paddling isn't really our forte. So, so we really put most of our efforts into the trekking and cycling, and those are two bankers. So we don't worry if people pass us on the paddling legs, and then yeah, we just play to our strengths, and it's a long race. I mean, we're not even halfway yet, so you know, anything can happen. Even if you're strong on a leg and in a discipline, you can get lost and mess it up completely. So that nullifies everything that you've been working towards. So at the same time, you just got to be cautious and, you know, take every step at a time. What goes up must come down, and vice versa. So we know that. So you just enjoy the downhills while you can, and you know, you sort of got in the back of your mind that going into a valley, you got to come out the other side.
But then, some are forced to face up to the inevitable.
And on the split. What's going on, Snooky? Wakey.
Sleepy monsters.
Come, dude. Yeah. It's the hottest time of day or night, should I say, in terms of sleep monsters, is always just before the sun comes up. And our team has picked up a few sleep monsters right now, but the sun to come up so we can keep on going.
I think keeping everybody strong enough to finish, that's going to be the most important thing, because the bike's long and the run's long. Some of them are battling with blisters and things, so we need to make sure that they can get those sorted. That'll be our main thing, keeping 4 people fit and healthy. But it's only halfway coming up. It sounds like the race starts after then.
And then what do you put in there? Okay. This can jeopardize that whole 58-kilometer trek we've got to do. I'm fine on the bike. I've just got to try and get these things right for the trek. I'm just going to have to hang in. Denville says he can't do anything about the pain.
Nearing exhaustion, teams now face an extremely technical abseil and brutal 5-kilometre canyon trek.
Well, we've just done a rope, basically like a tightrope walk with 2 support ropes from the corner of the rocks onto the bridge here, and now we're about to abseil back down to below the bridge.
Big night out. We've had a good run. We knew up to the start of the cycle was going to be very fast, and basically just 6 very fast legs. We just were very good and very consistent on them, managed to open up a gap. We're not sure exactly how much. Basically, we just stick into the plan, get to mid-camp as quick as we can, make sure we get a good rest for 5.5 hours, and then I think basically the race starts. We've got 2 monster legs after that, and that's where it's going to tell. I mean, you can lose it in those big legs. So hopefully we rest well and have a good time on those big legs, and then mountain bike home.
As another day dawns and Team Merrill well through the leg, our chasing teams face a daunting traverse and abseil. Hard enough when in peak condition, though in their depleted state, our adventurers are tested yet again.
So we've made up from our first navigational area. I mean, what were we? We're in 9th, 8th, 9th, and we're now in 4th. So just chipping at it slowly. We had a bit of a wobbly now this afternoon. We all got a little bit, the sleep monsters got hold of us. So stopped in the bushes for 10 minutes and seemed to have pulled us together. So yeah, now to get this over, but man, it's hot up here. Wow.
I love abseiling. Abseiling is my favorite. But this, my balance is shocking. I don't know. I don't tend to like it too much. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna sit in my harness so that I know that I'm safe. Like I've got the safety thing and I'm sitting in it, and then putting myself across. The first step as well in abseiling, when you go down and you're not sitting in your harness, it's just that feeling of being out in space. It is stunning. I mean, just the view and that, and the bridge. Geez, I mean, yeah, hopefully it will hold my weight.
Still pushing hard, some of our teams call upon whatever motivation they can muster up in order to attack the next challenge.
Well, we just come off a bike we had been like falling asleep on, and then so I was really down, and then get thrown with this huge adrenaline rush, like package. I'm so scared.
Well, it does look pretty scary though, and apparently according to Chris Fisher, it's 100 times scarier than abseiling.
You're doing so good, Jig.
Super difficult, almost like emotionally draining because I'm exhausted, and then I have to freaking trapeze artist across a gorge. Just too much for me.
Living the adventure, man.
We've just done the 50-meter abseil, and we're headed about 1 kilometer down the cliff to go and find checkpoint number 12, and then Stefan is sending us at the highest mountain around to get a PC13 on the beacon, a couple 100 meters up there. No path, no bundi bashing.
Yeah, I mean this is what sets adventure racing apart from any other sort of outdoor sport, I think. You know, you really go to places where few others have been before.
You got to keep your mind occupied in whichever which way. I mean, a lot of the time we're just singing random songs that pop into our head, all sorts of random and weird stuff, but I mean it's more lack of sleep and craziness that gets to us.
I don't know what the guys are going to do at night here. I mean, I suppose you just, same thing as we're doing, we don't have much vision, you just got to carry on going up. We've now been awake straight for about 36 hours. Looking forward to getting some sleep. Those guys at the back, if they haven't had any sleep yet, then they're going to be really tired by the time they're trying to whack their way through here. That was probably the hardest couple 100 yards we've done in the race so far. Whenever you're trying to find a checkpoint and you're not quite sure, then tensions start to rise a little bit.
Trying to find the checkpoint. So basically what we did was just split up. I mean, you're just covering our bases. Trying to find it as quickly as possible. Been looking for half an hour just for one particular point. We know we're in the area, but thick shrubbery is hindering our performance.
Jigs? I can see the checkpoint.
Seems like the guys on the other side found it where it was actually supposed to be. So it's quite a relief because it's time to hit the road. Let's get to the halfway mark, reset, have some food, have a small bit of shut-eye.
Hey, the race is only starting now. We're 50 more Ks and then we're halfway, and then the big legs come.
Out in the gorge, we're about to go for our rope work. We're busy getting up to himself. Very, very excited. Sitting at the bottom of the abseil waiting for a bunch of people.
Finally, our teams all head out on the 67-kilometre mountain bike leg that takes them through some of this country's most remote and exotic landscapes.
So warm the cycling legs up again. Yeah. They were feeling good when I cycled in now, and now they're feeling pretty cut. Small little bit of sleep monsters. In this sport, you never got space until you get to the cross the finish line. Never ever got space. So we just keep going. But the second half of the course is going to be different to this first half, in that it's long, big legs, not fast, short legs.
I'm struggling a tiny bit with an upset stomach, which is not pleasant. Concentration is definitely waning, and little things just start to happen, like treats just dropping in my bag, or sweets, or you forget to close a zip, you forget to put on Vaseline for chafe. Yeah, we definitely do try to look after each other a little bit more. And you know what, it's actually about looking after yourself. Look after yourself, and obviously keeping an eye out for all your teammates. We didn't have a huge problems last night with sleep monsters, but there were times that the guys were almost about to fall off their bikes, which was mildly entertaining. So we came up with some crazy songs, and woo! You don't even want to hear them. They're bad.
The wheels on the bicycle go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bicycle go round and round, round and round, all day long. The amount of calories we burn each day on an adventure race, there's absolutely no way you can get that amount of food back into your system. So you just got to eat as much as you can, whenever you can. We try and eat sort of every hour. Fatty foods, just high energy food, but you eventually get sick of it all, and you just try and keep putting as much of it back in as you can. We stopped to eat because with a bicycle you can't eat, or you just can't get food in while you're cycling, so we've said we'd have a 3-minute stop here quickly just to get some food down. It's a meal replacement, sort of 20% protein, 80% carbs. Tastes like roast chicken.
Okay, one more checkpoint.
We're in a good rhythm now, so we should stick to that. That's what we need. Not slacken off, just keep it going.
We are finally at mid-camp. We have a compulsory 5-hour start, which means hopefully a 4-hour sleep.
With rest finally for the weary leaders, all our chasing teams track steadily towards their chance for a little respite. With the thought of a deserved stop, some push too hard and start to falter, but this is no time to let concentration waver.
This is what happens when the monster, the sleep monster, lurks in. We stopped for a 2-minute break. It's now 7 minutes past. Jeffrey, let's go. We're ready to go.
My legs can feel it. Shoulders, back, wrists, nails, hair. Every hill is getting harder and harder, but this is something that we learn in adventure racing, how to push our boundaries. It's one of the beauties of the sport.
Our chasers have made up time on our leaders Team Merrill, though with some brutal legs ahead, the time gap that they do hold could prove to be a deciding factor in the race. Next week, our teams, shattered by the extremes that this adventure has dealt, push through all the pain barriers with the end in sight. It remains to be seen if we will have new leaders and if those that started strong have pushed too hard, too fast.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.